Hello, this is Richie, and welcome to the AgostoAllElite Podcast. We're every Sunday. So we got a Dynamite recap, Rampage spoilers, collision recap, and some wrestling news. Let's start with Dynamite. Okay, let's start with Dynamite. So basically, it was the AEW'S Canadian Tour continued to kick it off last weekend with Dynamite coming away from Hamilton, Ontario, First Ontario Centre. Several of the announced matches spelled out for Sunday's Forbidden to like the tornado tag between Sting and Darby Allin, Jericho and Guevara, Moxley versus Ishii has some roots in BCC and battling in Toronto. We're going to expect Jungle Boy John Perry Pro Folk segment to focus on his turning heel by attacking his royal partner Hook. We got the blind tag tournament draw continues. We'll hear from the first team pick last week. NJF Adam Cole. Another team continues when Dr. Britt Baker is out sick, so Ruby Soho instead will fight a local competitor. So basically the women's first round will be next week. So I'll just give you a spoiler alert on that one. Let's get to it. Let's start with the show opens with an intro video as usual. We got Moxley versus Ishiro to start the show. Chops K out the gates, hammer tongs. Moxley ducks at Sagiri. Ishii sidesteps the knee, and they go forward head to head. Train forearms, train bites. John grabs his hand, stomps his head in before jumping into the floor. Referee sees Snip, keep an eye on Castagnoli, Yuta. Mox dies, wipes Tom out. We got to the break. Back from commercial. Ishii sets Moxley up. The superplex connects. Nope, training forearms. Finally, John drops him with a wicked rolling elbow. Near fall, setting up overhead elbows, looking for a bulldog choke. Tom managed to pivot to keep him ball at train suplexes. Moxley hit a there for the one. So yeah, it's a lariat. John kicks out one. Train knee tremblers, 1 count each. Both men down and out. Headbutts from the knees to the feet. Both men bloodied. Moving to slaps. Tom with a big header off the ropes. John hit a DDT. Shishi kicks out. Tom hits the paragon ship out the ropes to a lariat. Still no. Following up, slight lariat, not up. Moxley covered in blood, got the near fall. Tom sets up the blackout for a second connects under hooks. Moxley wins with Death Rider. Post match, Moxley cold shoulders Eddie kicks on his way out. Renee Paquette and the loading dock to intervene on Cole. Another vehicle pulls up inside NJF to erupt. He congrats Adam Cole getting staying sick to avoid from hitting doors. Say he got off the wrong foot, and the tag team tournament's a opportunity for them. Cole's on the level of double, but he's close. He can run the entire company together. So he wants to do a little whining this weekend to bro to bro. Adam's skeptical, but agrees. He says he's going to do say hello to some people, and then he'll see him later. Max Canada asks his driver his girl gift he got on Cole. The gift is better than you, baby. Tag team t-shirts available now on AEW shop. Adam walks out disgust. We go to break. Back for commercial. Renee Paquette interview her husband John Moxley. She Perez asking what the hell was out there. So Renee Kingston rolls out to argue with John. He said he has his back, but Cardio's his bum bag. He asks Moxley asks who cares about some car bullshit. Kingston said he cares. Renee pulled him apart. Jazz Eddie in the chest with a finger tells her to fix this because she's done. We got Kenny Omega via package we lost on Sunday night because of Don Health. Will Ospreay was the better man. He's not done with him yet. So got Ed Vigo, Orange Cassidy versus Jericho Pisati, Cool Hand Jericho Park, Red Jack Garcia, Daddy Magic Matt Mannard. So Vigo and Garcia start. Hips overwhelmed him with Lucha Libre. Tags of Parker Cassidy. Angelo combs his hair. Orange does Cole, puts his pants. Mano runs in, hands in Cass pocket pants. They start evasions. Has to drop kicks. Daniel tag in. Orange brushes his hair. Cassidy with death block, bow and arrow. Big Eagle off the top with double stomp, running shooting star press, no good. JSS working on over. Quick tags, we go to break. Back on commercial. Menard going for a power bomb. Big Eagle gets the tag Garcia, Heron whip, stacking Hydra up for elbow, only 2. Tag the lead comes in Hellfire Chaos on the ramp. Big Eagle over the overhaul moonsault, back inside. Tag and Taylor block. Garcia switch gears for a power drive for 2. Crucifix for 2. So Arch won a beach break, denied, back to Dragon Tamer, Vigo back in, breaks down, break down, punch takes Parker out, Lee is legal again, Magic is Brian elbow, faces briefly but stands straight. Ground Zero is over. And Hydra Vigo and Hideo win by pinfall with Ground Zero for Leon Maynard. Humbug cut a promo. Truth's open challenge. Dark Mila roll up, interrupt the promo. So Josh Silver says they were 3 men. They kicked their ass. Hangman said he'll make a 12-man one on it. Reynolds said here's a fight. Taunted for months. Page apologized. Bruno berates for abandoning them. Leaving them fighting Blackpool, not basing them. Reynolds said tonight they're not friends anymore. They're his opponents. We got a recap of Danielson beating Cascada with a broken arm for Bit Door. We got to a break. By commercial, interviews Jericho Guevara. So says his thing we're ready to do days, but a little bit better. Jericho's thing, yes, right. Her Siobhan, been years ago. So he gets his nightmare. So they go into prime. So Jericho bring a Paymaker up. Arc Order versus Hard Club Bucks. Reynolds to start. Rock, Alex Leg, Hammerlock, ship to a word slot. Jack with the reverse orange drag, iron bar, big orange drag, Nick fire out, Taz Silver Page. Gentlemen, ER tried the first shot back on circle, collar elbow, Hangman with a headlock takeover. Adam Kingston, John Powers up, Ryman's Hill, freaking jacked up, baby. Waistlock, groaning, Hangman with Taz and Uno. Matt, Evil blasts Hangman off the apron, front kick to Jackson, double whip. Jackson with a front kick, drop down. Nick drop kicks to his brother. The Bucks start about Dark Order to go to break. Matt for commercials. Reynolds reconciles Matt into turnbuckles. Big Knee takes Nick off her. Path is clear. Udo Page drawing. Hangman turns to the farms where Evil dives back, acts out. Darkor has Hangman isolated. Quick move, double pin. Adam Page will stay down for the Beaver Boys. Look for the Buck shot. The Young Bucks encourage him for taking out Reynolds. Silver is ready. Right side is not enough. Backside roll until he kicks. So yeah, Page is under him. Hit the eye wrist clutch by BET trigger. Hangman in the position. Hungman Bucks win by pinfall. Buck shot for Adam Page at Silver. Post match, Black BCC with Kota Takahashi and Callis attack the Hug Bucks. Boxy stat Hangman in the eye with a screwdriver again. Kicks to try to make a save, but Yuta put him on crossbar armbar. And Cassidy open a chair, literally sits on him. Moxley issues a challenge to the Elite. Blood and Guts, July 19 in Boston. So we got a hype reel for the two of the men, first round, Owen Hart Foundation tournament. So back for a commercial. Anna Cole meet up with Charlie Straw in the parking lot. Straw tells out that MJF. Cole says he's just playing along for now. Speaking of the devil, MJF rolls out trying to get Adam to leave with him. Cole agrees, which is Roddy lucky his match against Samoa Joe. So Jungle Boy Jack Perry makes his entrance in his shades. He cuts his music saying we're never hearing Tarzan Boy again because we ruined it from him. He got a car ready to take it to the airport. The crowd here all stuck with wildfires. He collided the ring, says young, cashing fat checks, banging the hottest bitch in the entire place. After everything he's done and given to his place being around not one but two world champions, he's spending to sit in some title second generation prick dangling his championship in his face. The funny thing is that the belt isn't officially recognized by AEW. For a reason, he doesn't recognize Hook because he's a fraud. He really need Hook, and Jungle Hook was the only thing worth because of him. The Hook was lucky to get standing next to him. Whether or not FTW is recognized here what it means to Hook and his fans, why he couldn't take it. Hook thumbs down, Jungle Boy runs away, Hook gives a chase through the crowd. Cameras go backstage with Perry so running and it rides to the back of Steve Hart, ready to drive up. A frustrated Hook throws a garbage can around the stars off. Guevara makes his entrance to do some cue card gimmick. We go to the break. Now we go to Alexa Nicole versus Ruby Soho. Soho takes her down for having forearms. Action on the floor. Back inside. Saddle suplex. This is just all Ruby as he has Saddle's second. Sedito pulls up on the pin. Not satisfied. She backs referee Pantera into a quarter. See one of his blood guts and put Alexia in a lockjaw to send a message. So Ruby Soho wins by special lockjaw. Post match, Ruby Soho gets on the back call Britt Baker DMD say that because of how filthy Drew Canadian is, she's sick. But don't worry, next week they'll have their own hard qualifier. She takes a shot at Adam Cole for missing Forbidden Door. They said hopes they never have kids because they are weak little bastards. She told Britt that to get her head out of the toilet, look at her, said Baker doesn't know who she is most of the time, but she knows now who she now is standing with the outcast. But does Britt like what she like? Last year, Baker barely beat her finals on her best day. Since that day, we're taking everything that means to her. Next week, she's going to take her opportunity to win the own away from until she's left as at where she is. Nothing. We got a recap of Anthony Bowens brief after that late from QTV because he gauged to claim the crowd. Jai TV is not in production. He says Matt Hart, I see us Kansas City are now fight out on Friday. So yeah. Commentary, High Up Rampage, we'll go to break. Then we go to the main event. Okay, Darby Allin Sting versus Lee Sex Gods, Painmaker Jericho, Guevara Tornado tag match. Jericho whacks Sting in the arm with a bat, and the Icon grab his own bat. They have a bat fight. Backstage, the quarters, Stacky splashes. Guevara take Allin out with a diving ace crusher. The taxis behind with Chris. Hard whip into a barricade. Suplex with Darby into an apron. Go to the break. Bat for Kuroshi. Guevara springboard on Baker. Barricade into an ace crusher. Allin throwing him inside. Sting comes over, calls the center with a punches. Jericho right there with a push. Cough it off the top rope to the floor, takes Guevara out. Stinger splash on barricade, right to Jay. Sting and Darby set two tables next to each other. Allin sets the table. They next to the ropes for the direct the Icon side on the tables. He climbs, Sting studies the ladder for telling Darby he got it. The 64-year-old Sting dives off the ladder and splashes Sam through the table. Back inside, Darby storms. Darby double slides Jericho through a skateboard. Now nut. Jericho plays hardcore front straight with ladder. The lane lets Allin put some face first. The end of ladder springboard. Chris blasts him with his own skateboard. Juice effects connects, but Allin falls out of the ring. Sting back in the ring. Inverted face lock. Jericho reverses to the walls of Jericho. The Icon crawls, grabs a bat for the other ropes, and he blasts him in the head with a bat. Stinger, splasher, second try, but Jericho hit the code breaker. Bleeding hard. He goes to juice effect, but Sting ducks it. Hit Scorpio death drop. Nope. Sting sets him up. So Darby Allin Sting wins by submission with Scorpio deathlock, but Sting on just Jericho. That was the show, folks. That was pretty much what happened on Dynamite. So basically, what happened was this was a great night for the Painmaker. This was a great matchup. It was something you want to see. It was Sting's main event. It was basically Sting main eventing, like Sting for a long time, Sting main eventing a long time, honestly, yeah. So yeah, but here's my thought on this. It was a solid show all the way through. Solid show. It was definitely a solid show. Sorry, like something wrong with my fucking something right with the what I'm writing on like solid show again was a solid show. Excuse me, I'm dealing with a little problem with my script. I need to fix this. Okay. Alright, now alright, we're back. Alright again. I'm gonna try again. Solid show all the way through. Different styles of matches, provide variety. Story beats were hot. The main event close to epic. No. That's my thoughts for Dynamite. Now let's go straight to the Rampage spoilers, because I already do spoilers on Rampage. I'm just gonna tell you the spoilers for Rampage. Yeah, it's better I tell you right now. So now basically here's my thought. The format. Okay, QTV has now entrance. New entrance with a red carpet on a ramp. Karen singing to the ring. It's weird, but okay. Johnny TV and QT Marshall defeating Hardy, Brother Zay, Hamilton. Ethan Page got involved, then didn't go so well. Billy Gunn and Ethan both made the save, cut promos afterwards, so revealed Matt Caster was out sick. Page celebrated afterwards, hoisting Zay on his shoulders. Rest of the show, we got Shawn Spears defeating Blade. Shawn Spears is a Canadian hero. He crushed it, defeated a Canadian, Taya Valkyrie. And then the main event, Costa Cali defeated Colorado and retaining the ROH World Title. See it, the ROH. So yeah, that was Rampage spoilers. So yeah. So now that was spoilers. So now let's go straight to ROH. Alright, let's get to the ROH recap. Let's go check out ROH. We have our 13 match, 2.5 hour episode ROH. Let's do the recap, shall we? We got LAI versus Mark Wheeler, beat from Jobbers. Righteous versus Dark Order, Diamond versus Leah Gray. Taylor, the Horseman, Gringo versus the Lucha Bros, Commander Adrian Van Vigo. Tariq Miller versus Liam Bill. Estarada versus Big Witty. Lopanga Vice versus House of Torture Porn. The United Empire versus Daniels, Andrade, Dante Martin. We have the ROH Women's Proving Ground match. Athena versus Casey Cincinnati. The ROH 6-man tag belts. The Embassy versus LIJ. We got the ROH World Championship Proving Ground match main event. Casanoli versus Chuck Taylor. Let's get to the show. The first match, LFI versus Wheeler and Piazza Jobbers. LFI destroyed Duke Fellows in the bail. Darius in the corner pass and a bicycle drop kick by Jalistico. New chops and tag advance. The duels is fellow with a lariat. Will eats a swingboard cornbreak or whip corny. This is lariat, the president. This is over. Winner, FII. Jobber, that match, squash match. Now we go to match 2, Dark Order Evil Uno versus Righteous and Stu Grayson. Roll the Star Silver takes out Vince with fire, but cuts Stu Grayson straps Silver ringside on Vince take control. Huge Boston slide by Dutch distracting by Silver is 2. Silver reverses for the sequence when his own Dutch tags Reynolds. Vince is on 2 and Reynolds double-legging, delivers some ground pound. Pulls out in the corner of Vince and boots and Dutch sends the fly off the apron. Reynolds for positive, but Vince goes outside. Reynolds follows. Vince goes to the over. Reynolds follows Dutch. ET apron by Reynolds and Dutch. Double slam by Burt. Captain Conrad Reynolds and Bass Buster by Silver to Vincent. Vincent struck a 3. Ring come on, nowhere flying. The Silver is then for the win. The winner of the Righteousness. So, to me, way too short. To me, the story is captivating. There's potential for a blow-off match. That should be a lot of fun. So, after the match, Evil Uno made the save with a chair for Grayson to stay in the way. Grayson dropped to his knees. I begged Uno to hit him, but Uno can't. So, there's more to the story in UCI. Match 3, Leah Gray and Sterling versus Diamond. Andre Diamond, Gray doesn't like what she sees. Bails to the outside. Diamond falls her, throws him to the steps. Mark Sterling not to strike Diamond Loud Gray to go around the apron and floor. Snatches by Gray and chinlock breaker by Diamond. Frees the whole call sign by Diamond. Now Chaos Theory. Diamond gets pinned. Sun gun by Gray. Side effect to the 2. And Diamond ducks in their closing and hits a German suplex. Running drops in the corner by that. Hit the 2. Possible by Diamond. Finishes this one. Diamond's the winner. So yeah. So there's not much here, but to be honest, I expect some revenge for Diamond. Casanova is in an interview with Leslie Nair, back to Chuck erupts as for a show at the ROH World Championship. Claudio Seps says eliminated first. So yeah, we got match 4, Workhorseman, Ringo, Taylor versus Richard Higo, Danilo, Commander. We have Chicago for this one. Penta Greenlow start the crowd, cross split 50-50. Penta remove the glove, local grab the champion, super kicks in the back of his head. Leg layer by Phoenix, kicking from Green Kingo. Henry rolling over and Taylor Kingo, head by Commander. So Taylor to the floor, ready shining over by Taylor Hernandez, super kick over the 2 by Penta, field factor by Penta local, 1-2, no. Penta, Phoenix going up. So yeah, and is what is basically pin, super kick by Phil Taylor, tag Commander, who's a lariat, Commander Corona, and a pair of knees by Henry, the tail by Drake, up handle face by Henry, and a tiny wiggle by Drake, twisted spine buster, screen sub by Local, Vigo breaks the pin, Vigo tells him to tag, with screen by blocking Drake, they hook it to Henry, Papa, Local, tag to Phoenix, super kick Draymond, super to the Drake, because the runner bombs the Drake, Penta focus attack with some legs to Drake, for the corner, goes right down, Henry face now, had a head chop, like fight with a Henry, leg trap, brain bust by Henry, count, Taylor, Nervous, what's that is what? Pretty quick, we can't flip it, Commander. Walks the road after that. Left over the ramp. We got kicked out of Henry. Tag. Defense. We got a stop combo that finishes one. Winners. Lucha Boys and Hero and Commander. This rule, huge fan of all 8-man squad on fire for these guys as well. So yeah, pretty much a great match. Match 5, Big Bill, Lee Marai versus Kyle Tariq, Jobbers. Kyle Tyson Road Buster Bill. He's a huge boot. Tariq is now laying some chop the Bill, but he had Boston and Slam. Marai get the tag. Split 2, ready chop for Tariq and Marai, but Bill flags everyone. Execute to Cameron to face Buster. Borderline special to face this one. Big Bill and Yari. We got match 6, the RH World Championship match. The Embassy versus LHA. It's for the 6-man World Tag Belts. So yeah, the Shingo case start. Shingo tries to blocks. Hero times go in. The jump kicks. Color Hero gets the 1. Bison Hero kick. Tora Khan eradicate RB for apron. The super play by Page with Khan and now the other sidewalks and 10 back. Tora the third on the apron. U-Count. Hero and Tom Hero again, but the far race called the side back to the Shingo in the back over. Back 10. Tora the Khan routine flatner combo by Shingo Khan. Super at the target 2 back out of Shingo Khan 2. Using a Shingo. Bushi attack comes on top. Then drop kick. Bushi drop kick in the cave. Cause I got Shingo. Fisherman. They got Bushi the Khan. 1 and 2. Layered by Khan return. Drop kick to the knee by Hiroshi. Cage. With the 2 of double forward. Era body slam. How about my cage? Shingo Hero at the same time. Bushi missed cave behind with his back. Bushi fights over a tall Khan, but double shoulder block and open cage for this one's over. Winner is still 6-man tag belt for the Embassy. I wish we get more of LAJ to be honest, but this was a heck of a match. You want Shingo? Okay, El Desperado versus Big Willie Mac. The Mac doesn't just budge as Desperado changes him in terms of single leg lariat. Crowd loves the right chop up Mac. They have some big ones here. Desperado is down, broken to the waist, but Mac connects to the job. Kick up moves up by Mac to the back hole by Mac. Double super jump kick the knee. Back Desperado drop Mac. Desperado well works at the knee. Rational network. Race splash the knee like a leg lace. Double. Back gets a rope down. See him run. Before he gets back to the knee. Mac plate. Back holding handle and Mac. It's a flop match. There's a lot of guys like muffler. Mac with the bottom. Again, backside, holds on to Angel Wings. Angel Wings for the win. El Desperado wins. My rating fans continue to love the Mac, but Ross Desperado sorry this one. Especially when the death match and that's Moxley that happened. Like, yeah, that's happening next week. So yeah. Yeah, well that's happening. Well this week. Ironically this week we're talking about that. Alright, Republic Vice versus House after torture porn. House of torture porn is showing Irish will hit toss when he moves up by Republic Vice. Trent looks for a suplex, the usual bite the hand escape. Usual from outside. Trent in the punch on top. They put on floor. Rocky touches the guardrail. Back body drop by a shoulder. Trent finds back chop. Shoulder trophy. Like kids and a super kid named Ace or kneeling Trent. And anyway, deadlift for the suplex show to the door attack. It's like nothing so here but it came out on hot OT and Trent set up for whatever finish the best 2 count Rocky heads up 0 second 4 half suplex sure either had K inside the ring. Referee sees Big by usual, Spirit Show. Okay, Richie. Oh, sorry. So, Raw Bomber to Lumber by Show, 2 counts. Okay. Goes on big boot, corner by Master Torture, whatever. Average played bad facing Buster by usual. Rocky to a pile, okay to break it up. Rocky is shown to elbow middle, show your pair of knees from Rocky and right. Suicide vibe by broken shapes outside. Trent concentration. Gets the win. Sorry, that was a little phone call thing. Someone sent me a phone call, so alright, let's go back to where I was at. Alright. Okay, it was so apparently it was about getting the win. Alright, here's my advice. Nice little tag match. You can tell all these guys are very familiar with each other. With Punky Vice, just so much fun. House of Torture attacks for the bell, but Cassie has no patience to make the save, and House of Torture bail. We go to match number 9. We go to match 9. Empire versus Undivided Mind, Daniels, JP, and Jared Start Bridges and Flip Solo Wrestler. TJP does the same, and the Head Sisters. Step a Hurricane by TJP. Undivided Head Spring with TV does the same vacuum. Follow up assist. Gregory and Martin, the only question have the kids, the Austin, Daniels, by Fletcher, books. Therefore, this is my club. I think it's now. Order anytime. Drop combo. Not driving. I got it. That's what I got it. Very detailed. I got it. But Daniels broke the pin. Running forward to GP. Wait, correct by Danielson to the Martin and Andrade inverted 50s and rock bottom for the first 1, 2, 3. Teacher shot shoulder up, 3 counting down. Winner are Andrade, Martin, Mr. Daniels. Who's an entertaining trios match here? Martin's very going to perform state playing C. Daniels is perfect in the situation between them in general. We go to match 10, the Orange Women's Proving Ground match. Athena versus Casey Simonelli. Headlock table with Spilly and a shoulder block. Athena trapped. Oh yeah. Trish spinning up. Comes up in an April slingshot. Blast for 1. More drop by Spilly. 1 count. Running uppercut. Harder. Okay. Big Blue Athena. Rolling elbow. Alright. Dina will do it. So rolling elbow by Dina. Dina wins. I don't know, it's a quash match. After the match, Dina's texted Benelli, headed to success, running double knees to Snelly lying to steps. Painful. Alright, match number 11. Okay, we got the lane event. The RH Proving Ground match against Snelly with Chuck Taylor. Shoved to the match to start. Chuck mounts Claudio corner, give away punches, with sending Claudio to the floor. Chuck sends Claudio into the slot outside, rough and run guard back in the ring. Sophie sends Claudio to wheel into the floor again. Claudio sends to Nelson, following with an uppercut. Running big boot with Chuck and trying to get to the ring. Claudio followed by side with BBC. Claudio sends Chuck into it. Chuck got it to Chuck and chair from Trent in the ring to support the Chuck. Claudio tried, but Chuck just top floors over the floor towards the clutch. The Chuck, no rope by Chuck. Claudio gets to the rope. Chuck with Patrick. The Claudio responds to uppercuts in the corner. Claudio runs to the knee. Chuck hits him short Patrick. 1, 2. Oh no. Chuck charges the Claudio responds to pop out uppercut for 2. Big Larry, Claudio, and Rocola Bomb finishes 1. my thoughts. This was short and sweet. Didn't need any more. Chuck out a defense. When Claudio thinks he's going to win match, he finishes it. So here's my thoughts. A lot of good action on this week's ROH. There was a lot to do with Forbidden Door for the pay-per-view. We worked more on the Lucha stuff. It was great stuff. Embassy at a US, whatever. How we got pay-per-view come up this month. We got champions Athena, so much of Lucha Bros Carter have storylines, and to me that's troublesome. So yeah, that's pretty much my thoughts on ROH, like ROH this week. So yeah. Alright, so let's go to Collision. Alright, now we're at Collision. Let's get to the juice of Collision. Okay. So AEW Collision was Samoa Joe's mean, so that's one thing. Collision, MA okay, the show features Samoa Joe sending his opponent on a stretcher, winning 3 Owen Hart tournament matches. We had a TBS title defense with Chris Stanlater, NJ pulling a double duty, and more. Let's get to it. Okay, let's talk about the main event. Samoa Joe got beaten at Owen Hart's men's tournament. The bulk of the broadcast revolved around Owen Hart's men's quarterfinal matches, with 3 matches on deck. Samoa Joe throttled Rod Strong in the main event. CM Punk signed commentary and Scott's future opponent. Semifinals as the match wore on. Joe began eyeing Punk from across the ring. Strong was feeling feisty, putting up a fight, but it couldn't match Joe's Samoan style. Nearing the climax, Strong dropped Joe down on his back with a running knee, an Olympic slam, but Joe kicked out both covers. The finish came when Joe countered a suplex into a sleeper hold on the mat. Strong Joe choked the breath out of Strong's lungs to put his opponent to sleep. The referee called for the brawl and awarded the win to Joe. After the match, Samoa Joe grabbed a chair walking toward Punk. The officials intervened to keep the peace. The man was aggressively pursuing fisticuffs. Joe dipped away in a roll of the ring, slammed Strong onto a chair. The results of the stretcher job for Strong to end the show. That's how it ended. That was the main event. My thoughts that Samoa Joe and Strong and Joe had a decent match. I don't think I'll ever reach higher excitement. Didn't make me believe Samoa Joe could lose. The closest stretcher job was a head scratch as simple as Joe's mean and sent a message of pain to Punk. He was on purpose. There was a wrinkle of Adam Cole striking at his friend. Cole wasn't on the show by that moment, to make me consider he showed up as a part of a big reason. So Cole challenged Joe out of anger for RH TV at Persona July 21. RH has been a great rejoicing moment on 3 hours of the show. Wonder if Strong injury will affect Cole moving forward. PB's blind partnership pal and JF. Let's go to as the injury moment is up, a very convincing basic side slam on the chair mat. We see wrestlers echo out worth AEW house. I see your motion of seeing Strong on stretcher. Has been strong enough on AEW to create attachment. Strong is just cold buddy so far. More mindset trying to figure out why. Then his patient versus Punk versus Joe. That match sells itself. We'll have to see one of those wait and see moments determine was truly effective. We go to Ricky Starks' absolute victory and over Juice Robinson. Let's go to the rest of the show. Bullet Club Gold was banned from ringside, so the match was fair square. Juice attacked in the offense despite pain and she was injured post. Dogs there had a play for the finish. He ran a rope aim for contact. For the finish. He generally ran the ropes aim for contact. Juice countered for a jackknife pin, but Starks reversed position roll up to win. Afterward, Jay White and Guns ran out attempts to attack. And Derek Ryan, Bullet Club Gold to retreat. This solid match is worth the strategy, so down start crowd on Hart push through the Hart moment. Nothing that the memory. Will Hobbs advanced Dustin Rhodes in this match in a punch. Cue commercial. Kyrie and fair UT ran Dustin Rainbow hold up Rhodes fan condition bleeding. He hard fires held across the roads. Driver. Well, my fair believer offset that, but got to. While waiter Dustin rolled up, kind of down on cold red, but that's could have kept Hobbs down either. Dustin was signed to Hobbs. QT got nervous, so he hopped on the apron. Dustin sucked QT in the kisser, but Hobbs took control for a mustard. Listen man would have crumbled that moment. Dustin kicked out on one. The Defiance made the crowd erupt. Yan award for bound with QT. Dustin grabbed leg for figure four, but Hobbs powered out to send Dustin to the ropes. Hard shot the reference. QT sucker punched Dustin. Hobbs pounds for linebuster for the win. So this was a dynamite match with a done finish. Hobbs rose for the heck of a fight, holding the crown in palm of the hands. Too bad the finish was a whack at this point. Dustin Craig. Hobbs should need to rely on him held to beat him. The cheating for me look weak. Is that the enthusiasm for some match next week? The cheating making me want to heels get come up, and that was it for Hobbs. Nothing about it was ratchet or them. And then he goes to QT. I want to see Dustin get hand Marshall with special team match next time they're in Texas. So yeah, semifinals at Owen Hardman tournament. And Punk versus Jones. Versus Will Hobbs. That was next week's match. Let's go. Alright, now we'll try to go through the rest of Collision. Okay, shall we? NJF defeated Kip Morris. NJF started with Chief Shot for Open the Bell. He hit the heat stick power driver to NJF released the pin flick as Japan to the bell lock submission. One Morse tap. JF promptly tossed about the ring. Mike grabbed him. MJF grabbed the mic to assault the Hamilton crowd. He was so confident he could be anyone home to wrestle. He a title on. He entered Ethan Page to take the spot. Page slapped the mic on MJF's hand and explained his hand in history of Hamilton. Page was ready to fight. AEW World Championship. MJF retained Ethan Page. MJF clipped Page's knee early on. Folks stared at a joint throughout the match. Page relied on from Van Much power slam, but he was too slow to cover. MJF kicked out when Page left the MJF for Eagle's Edge. He did get knee gay out. MJF struck a dragon's screw leg whip in the ropes and finished it with a heat seeker. So yeah, the crowd got money worth for MJF this night. Put a lot of work beyond a quick swash. Skating prone, using heel. Page answered the call with a pleasing surprise. Page slapped the mic from NJ's hand right hot. Too bad Page continued to tackle while too long made England's fight cool down. Also, the Hamilton story was needed to cue on viewers on personal history, but the rest was an unnecessary moment to get to the fight the whole time. So yeah, Page put up a good effort in the ring, but he's on level the double and just smartly hindered Page's power ability to early chop block. Page showed hard potential babyface of the future. So yeah, that was pretty much that match. It was okay in my book. So yeah, and Miro defeated Anthony Henry. Miro mauled his opponent. Henry scored a flurry. Miro weathered the storm and pump kicked Henry into oblivion. Miro finished by game on submission. Miro's power structure at full display billed him as a beast. Tony Khan doesn't treat Henry as a champion already, so the dominant win shows Miro in a bright light. The Guns joined Bullet Club Gold. Switchblade. Jay White confirmed that with last week's Gun salute with official invitation for the Guns to join the squad. The Bandman gang in full force while it works for CM Punk's right sack. Also challenged FTR for the tag title match next week on Collision. The Babyfaces answered the locker room. FTR was up to challenge and a note. Punk spit a shot at MJF holding a replica world title. The Guns were good fit with Gold keeps them at high proficient while dotted more time to develop the stars. Punk's promo rubbed me the wrong way. He called that he was never beaten for the belt, but he can't say he's a true champion. Punk got you twice. What it is, the world moves on. Punk's the one who needs to put up or shut up. So yeah, pretty much. Now we go to the TBS champion. Statler retained against Lee Frost. This was a competitive contest. Down the stretch, Statler unloaded a discus lariat, set up the Saturday Night Fever, apologized to win. Statler handled business. Frost strutting up, looking stuff good at the feet. There's not much takeaway for this. There's a note to this. Competition felt looser this week. Quicker with jokes, wisecrack, right reaction. For example, Dr. McGinnis played the referee beat out of position where he could have lost the kick out of one spine muscle from Hobbs. Whatever. Christian Cage flapped the gums holding the TNT Championship. Sean Spears set up and Fred Ryan and the bottom line saying the China in the works. Andrade, I think, has Bessels mask. You don't remember what's right about House of Black Modern, they will help them in good time. NJPW, they put out good work. took that quality opponent out, even being serious of trouble. That was a good match of the opponent of the night, person of the night. The match of the night for me is Hobbs versus Dusty Rhodes. Rhodes and Hobbs control my emotions, take me for a ride. The physicality put me in the middle. The kickouts were fire. My thoughts: a collision was enjoyable with a solid collection of matches. I like the twist, surprise of Bell's World title fight that had a vibe Eddie could have on Saturday nights. One criticism and disconnect in character representation. Ethan Payne now represents AEW through and through. Their attitude never shown on the screen. For NJ flip-flops weeks, for his calorie. Andre was never tears on over masking mask. The personal significance had never been explained. For all FTR Tough Talk, now coming time back about against Bullet Club Gold over the tag eliminator. These like this need to sharpen in the future. So that's my thoughts on Collision, and let's get to the wrestling news now. Alright, now let's get to the wrestling news. After that, we will do a coverage of AEW Forbidden Door 2023. It will be, let's start with the news first. Okay. CM Punk and Elite were reportedly kept on opposite sides during the building at AEW's Forbidden Door. So it's been reported that CM Punk and the Elite were kept apart at last night's Forbidden Door. On Saturday, June 17th, CM Punk made a return to CM All Wrestling, bringing 9 months of speculation with every future were in. Though many are speculating how the Chicago-born star would integrate with AEW's locker room, and in particular the Elite, who has physical altercation from the last September. AEW recently drew Collision as a new Saturday show which helped separate members of the roster necessary without need for a definite brand split, while Punk and the Elite can be different weekly schedules. It's still possible for oaths to cross at power pay-per-views. To combat this, Fightful Select revealed that Kenny Omega and Young Bucks were kept on different sides of the arena for last night's Forbidden Door show. Kenny Omega and Young Bucks and CM Punk were put on different sides of the building at Forbidden Door, we're told. So, yeah. And yeah, CM Punk was victorious over Satoshi Kojima last night's show. Thus, Progress semifinal and Hard Final will be battling your Samoa Joe, Roderick Strong this week's Collision. Next week's Collision, after this week's Collision. No. As for the Elite, Young Bucks were on the winning side of the TNT, while Kenny Omega lost his IWGP United States Champion Will Ospreay in a jaw-dropping encounter. The AEW already star Eddie Kingston is getting back to a better version of himself following hernia surgery. Kingston is basically announced he would miss some time because he had the hernia surgery. So, speaking with Joseph Scott on New York Post, Kingston was asked to describe how he feels after the surgery. As a man, he tried to work through the injury, but eventually reached the point he couldn't. Kingston made it clear he feels much better now. So he's been dealing with the injury since September. He did the stupid wrestling thing, which is work through it. He couldn't work through it anymore. Kingston said he feels 1,000 times better. They told that Kingston will be out for 6 weeks, so he took all 6 weeks, took advantage of it, and said to the other day, "Please forgive me the way I look. I've been eating a lot of ice cream during my time off and to get back to work out. That's a better version of me." So when asked about a point, he realized he couldn't keep working through an injury. He called how he couldn't sleep the night after his match for the customer ROH Super Honor. He tried to go to work, but he couldn't get on the plane. He was so much in pain. The way I judge pain if I could sleep. Clinton said, "The last night I had a cardio honor. I was icy and groin. I couldn't sleep all night. When I saw that something was wrong, I still tried to go to work. I got up that Tuesday, at the airport, and out the door. Looked at my girlfriend said, I can get on that plane. That's my pain." I was like, yeah, it's time to go. So Kingston makes return to July's 4th episode for the door. Dynamite. He competed in Japan's Forbidden Door, team with the Elite, and Tomoe Ishii to be Blackpool Combat Club, Konosuke Shota Umino. So yeah, pretty much Kingston made a big return. So yeah, competed and won for his team. So beating Kingston, yeah, pretty much. Bryan Danielson was reportedly said to be involved in AEW's Blood and Guts prior to injury at Forbidden Door. Prior to the injury, Bryan Danielson was reportedly set to wrestle on TV more clearly at Blood and Guts. So past Sunday, they saw AEW Japan come together for an annual Forbidden Door. The show saw Ospreay claim the AEW champion over Kenny Omega, the main event between Danielson and Okada, when Bryan Danielson defeated Okada. Despite earning a mission victory over New Japan Icon, Danielson suffered a forearm fracture 10 minutes before the end of the contest. As a nature, he finished the bout for his injury revealed post-match. To provide an update on that may have been his plan, BRYAN had not picked up his injury. Fight was reported that the 42-year-old was set to compete on area TV much more frequently following Forbidden Door. We were evenly lined up to compete at this year's Blood and Guts. So, unfortunately, Danielson's injury occurred, caused several adjustments created with AEW. Plans for Danielson to wrestle more on television following Forbidden Door. He was to be involved in Blood and Guts, targeted for July in Boston. So, yeah, of course, Danielson's injury comes a serious blow to AEW, with BRYAN still addressing the injury post on media screen, estimating he may out for 6 to 8 weeks. So, AEW will make it. So, it's what it is, but, it's how wrestling when you get injuries and injuries come and go. It's only 6 to 8 weeks. Bryan Danielson will come back. So their report of NXT TV doing tapings outside Orlando. Merger holding up to change any changes. So NXT TV reportedly moving away from Orlando. From his beloved Black Hill days, his branding as NXT 2.0. WWE brand experienced a lot of change in recent years. Throughout the 2010, the show would focus on bringing the best talent elsewhere, like Kevin Owens, Finn Balor, and Mojo passed through the system. Through 2021, the brand looked like a favorite homegrown performance, building their own stars. Through all eras, NXT has roots in Orlando. Early days, the company would reside at all the University of Retro out for a takeover special, something they recently averted since the pandemic. However, it's written and Milton and Server said there have been talks of taking NXT taping elsewhere where only merger showing any slowing changes in WWE shows. There was talk of television outside Orlando running house shows outside Florida and Pennsylvania like NXT did with tour during the pandemic. We're told the merger did not finalize it, holding up major changes happening, but talk of exploring major changes for the Raw with new ideas when the merger take place. So obviously we see merger main stars with several among those that mix it up with some development brands best talent. A cruise president of the main roster name square up against NXT performance made pro WWE to attempt to move the show for the next location going forward. So yeah, pretty much what it is. I think NXT need a broad change, like tour the country or something, Maybe if you think about it, maybe it's better. So yeah, that's the wrestling news. So yeah, nothing more of something that lines of what it is. Yeah. Alright, that was the wrestling news. Let's get to the AEW New Japan Forbidden No review as I promised. This was the second co-branded event between All Wrestling and Japan Pro Wrestling, but unlike last year's show, injuries didn't prevent Guido and Tony Khan putting Tori Getter show they won him. Here's a look at the final. Dennis Ricotta, Mega vs. Ospreay, Sanada vs. Jungle Boy, AJ vs. Hiroshi Tanahashi, Sting, Darby, and Naito vs. Jericho, Suzuki, and Guevara, Punk vs. Kojima, Cassidy vs. Zack Sabre Jr., Garcia vs. Shibata, Tori Starr vs. Nightingale, Noxley, Kazunori Yuta, Kosuke, and Shota Uma vs. Young Bucks, and Page, Kingston, Tomoishi, the Mogul Embassy vs. Desperado and Chaos, Dina vs. Starks, Cobb, Fletcher, GGP vs. Shido, Imitashi, Stu Grayson vs. El Fantasmo. So, basically we'll start with Mogul Embassy vs. Chaos, Dina vs. Billy Starks. This, what I appreciate, very clear 4 matches. So, let's go to there. So Chaos started Chaos vs. OLC, Strickland, Khan, all 4 took out Beretta. Remember, this was a big 8-man tag, make it long. So most 8-man, 6-man tags followed that pattern. Both sides trade control. Sometimes 8 competitors can be on offense, defense. The bouts was fun, rarely to distract the other. Never did a good job, got the crowd hyped for the show, as expected. Mogul Embassy scored the win with Swerve hit the double stomp on Mero. So next is Billy Arks versus Athena. The Women's Honor Cup to continue with Arks versus Athena. Second match on pre-show. The recent high graduate school was able to get a hard hand, scored the first near fall with a rare already women's championship turned around. A couple of missteps. Most of them was hard hitting. Hitting allowed both women to shine. It found a few minutes woke the crowd up when they started hitting bigger spots. Athena winning was predictable, also the right call. So we also had English and Japanese ring announcers for shows Great Touch. So the ROH 6-man tag title might be retired at some point. Might need to be retired. The management has barely done anything with them since the show relaunch. Starks been good kicks. She and Athena were hitting each other with hard strike. There was an awkward moment when Athena fell through and Starks hit another kick. Athena recovered, grabbed her head scissor. Next is Grayson versus Phantasmo. The third match was a pre-show with Grayson, accompanied by Vince and Dutch, take on El Phantasmo. Grayson took control by grounding LLP about punches and high fly didn't stay down for a while. This was a squash. It was definitely designed to make Grayson look good. He controlled the pace of most of the match, felt loud. Phantasmo had some standout moments. Decisively, LLP was able to clean win. Good for LLP. It's something when you are. Empire versus Los Negros Japan. Fletcher, TGP Cobb representing Empire against NJPW, Bush, Hirotoshi, Ashigo, Kagi, and a final pre-show match. This was mayhem for the Run the Bell ring. 6-man fight took minutes for it down TJP, Bush, and Legal Men. It was a competitive match that came to close to the Kagi finisher TJP for the win. This was short and genic. The crowd had fun. LP jacket was awesome. It was reminiscent of Jericho's old jacket that led on. Phantasmo's haircut was similar to Logan Paul's. Take however you want. The suicide dive of Phantasmo was great. Fantastic. It was a 450 from Grayson. Cobb's power was great. He was able to power up Bushi with no leverage with suplex. MJF went to Khan. Tony Khan basically requested his match against Tanahashi. Going first, we got out Toronto as possible, so the AEW World title kicked off the main show. She had taunted Tanahashi by walking his walk before mocked and out. Japanese Star took him down, played some air guitar so he wasn't intimidated. The Chad tried to walk out of the match, but Revival got a coward chant going and chased him back into the ring. The long guy native used some cheap tactics to get the advantage. He kept the pace and interacted with the crowd a lot to generate heat. He had a lot of storytelling about instead of making this a great match. He had some good technical precision, but this concept was never going to live up some of the others in the cards that he did smart to try something different. Tanahashi was able to hit a signature during school leg before caught locking in a cover, but NJF got on the bottom rope, forced a break. The champ was able to get a diamond downright, hit a cheap shot when to get the pin. This was a decent bout, as long as this was anyone the match of the night. This was Tanahashi's second shot at the title as he faced John Moxley last year. Jeff is great at projecting his voice so the whole crowd could hear him in the ring. Using the top of a leverage during abdominal stretches was a classic heel move. Then Jeff did a lot of great selling this match. He looked convincing when he sold a knee injured knee after hitting a shoulder breaker. So basically we got a men's own card tournament again when Punk battled Tanahashi in a second match on the main card. They settled a simple chain wrestling. CM Punk chant was drawn out by boos. So he took control. At the end of fighting ringside, coaches sent Punk over the barricade into the timekeeper area with a stick shot. And Punk tried to trade strikes. The opponent would regret it. This match ended up being a long expected match in a bad way. Both men were having fun while being a life on each other. It always makes it more fun time for the crowd. Both men failed to get the pin with the elbow drop top rope. Punk applied the counter vice. Killer escape. And to get on the GTS. Twice before the second Savior hit it and win. Punk was getting more boos chairs during entrance. Like didn't bother at all. But Gina's tried to send Moraki looked great. Punk sold it perfectly. But yelled and Gina said close on hilarious. John will look like Punk with her belt. Oh, okay. AEW International Championship on the line defeated 4 with Cassie put the title against Garcia, Shibata, CSJ. 4 men sides each other had a stand in the middle of the ring. OC hit 3 men with the latest kicks ever. Bowman's caught on his leg and tossed it back and forth like they were playing catch. Shibata, Sabre kept shoving Garcia away so they could trade shots, and Garcia started dancing at them. They could both take him down at the same time. But at a chance, Shibata started trying to go at each other. So Garcia tried to fail to win the match. I hit Shibata when the title went point. We got every combination opponents breaking each other up in that. So some fun times play with different pairings. The crowd loved every set of it and wants to see Aaron play the strength work together to make the best international night at this point. Cassie was able to see the win by showing Shibata out of the ring. And he had to hit Garcia with his finisher and a couple for the win. Three chairs are arguing about whose title is the most important out of the match. Excalibur called Shibata a shirt bag on commentary with all that left field. So yeah. So Garcia has so much fun to join GSS. He has a little things, hilarious, like very submissions. Shibata's sisters may move from one hold to the next are smooth. The way she celebrated with punishing Cassidy's hand was brutal. So yeah, the IWGP Heavyweight Chair was on the line when Sonata defended against Jungle Boy. Hook was ringside to support his tag team partner. Perry was able to lock in snare trap around the match, but Sonata beat to the ropes. He was still fresh and injured. The longer match went, the more physical it came. Both men ended on the mat after particular scope exchange. Started throwing chops, but stood up. Jungle Boy used Sonata's own signature hold against him, but he was unable to get the win. That's like the both men trying to outdo each other very smooth. The match ended with Sonata hit him for the win. It seemed like the crowd was a little surprised. It was a finish, almost like it had been a planned ending. It was a good performance, but the ending was a bit strange. Go out to the stage. Perry took him, turned on Hook, and laid him on a clothesline. The crowd booed, chanted. Hook was lying his head in his hand. This was a second match in a row where you could say Perry had a slight size advantage, which is rare for Sinai, maybe a little bit stronger though. Jungle Boy hit a nice suicide dive and laid on his feet to buzz with the crowd. It was great announcing details rules of the match. It was different sides since the IWGP title was on the line. Both men had some deep red marks in the chest from chopping each other's heart. Kingston and Ishii. Alright, next Ishii teamed up with the Page and the Bucks take on Backbone Comic Club. Daishi Ishii and 2 10-man tag. Expected. Callis was taken by Takashi's side. Kennelly Kingston was at start, but Amuna tag in. Keeps the tag right out the Page because he really cared about fighting Swiss Superman. First several minutes, the mostly at the SmackDown match, we saw the double team move, only one-on-one exchange frequent tags. When Kingston and Mox ended up in the ring together, they came to a standstill. Mox took the first shot, yelled at Kingston hit back, and they traded Bill's whip. All 10 men got into the ring and started brawling. But a couple of minutes, there was a lot of chaos out of the ring. Eventually got back to the corners, and the BCC are taking their time on the Mad King apart. The match was so good, eventually you see it. Every single one had 1-2 moments of that, which is easy in the ring. After at the ring sequence, Ishii scored the win for his team by pinning Rita with a brainbuster. Kingston ended up arguing with Elite, but walked it out back to the back without incident. So yeah. So basically, Taz let the commentary both between matches take her a Hook, so Shibata would join to replace him. The way Mox was already looking at Kingston when the match was a nice touch. Takashi Ishii ducked it out. It was a great sequence. They were not holding back at all. Page's moonsault looked phenomenal. Hangman's countering Takashi diving clothesline and spinning forearm was awesome. Takashi selling everything. The match was like he was being killed over again. It was great. Tony Storm put the AEW World. Alright, now Tony Storm put the AEW World Champion against Will Nightingale Sunday night. The champion didn't come alone. Previous saw Saria was right there ringside. Storm rolled out of the ring, smashed his chain, like footing on the air, but once they rested and engaged again, started to work. The rest of that cast spread that Nightingale while ref was not to give Storm a clear disadvantage for the match. New Japan Strong Woman Champion eventually made a comeback. There by an apron, saying earn about 2 count. The ref kicked Solo as her ringside after green spray Storm. Storm ran one moment asking they send Beauty the building outcast. One clean match champion that, basically like let me get my script. Something wrong with my script for a bit. I gotta maybe a lot back to my script. Okay. You know what? Alright, we're back. Okay, the Strong Women's Champion eventually come back, hit a double driver on the apron, hit a second one on the ring, but got 2 count. I gotta do something again. They left kick saw race area for race out, decided to slip the grease for the Storm. But Storm got the win. This was a decent performance. When the interference was predictable and the assessor makes sense because outside AEW building for Outcast would have been nice to get at least one clean match. Champion pay-per-view. In the end, that's a minor complaint. Both of them made some mistakes, but the match was good, showing the champion retained the title, ranking Megan's eye, hitting Storms for the win. After the first lockout, they both fell over. They lost balance. They covered it well. Obviously, it was not supposed to happen. Storm was also missing a complete run hip strike. Nigel and Josh Storm right here with the driver, the moonsault, and Nigel looked great. The pounce was the best move. So now we go to Ospreay versus Omega. Ospreay looking to gain the IWGP US Champion, lost to Kingdom 17 when he stepped into the ring with Omega for their second singles match. Both men got a reaction to their entrance. Omega was a fanfare. Not only was a base champion, he was also Home Country. First match held on Raw during 4 sold the show. You could tell they were looking to sustain this proportion and facial expressions. This was serious and yet they seemed like pacing themselves first. After a minute, both men started hitting big moves on each other. Kyle started grabbing Omega's leg, Rap booted from the soul. This allowed everyone to focus on the match and the ring when he comes forward. And it was feeling the ability of Omega's great when he was Rat's match out previous. Because they feel like the one's tensions thing this one each other. You know, let's know it's great. And to now say Omega just saying things still set. They both like mess like that back in the ring. They fall. Being the weird head had some time went down to a little longer feet. Then made another appearance. Then the guards on the outside Omega drill spread with knee. Ospreay has a spread screwdriver while he's keeping the ref busy. User when Angel hit the Stormbreaker, Omega foot on the rope to break the pin. Ospreay used Omega on Legion when Angel against him kicked out and that's it for the crowd. Found on the right head, playing the driver 91, but still couldn't get the pin. He finally got the recount another Stormbreaker again, the US champion, the IWGP one. Chaos of Paramask guards flight the Ospreay's appearance. The crowd was chanting for even interesting. This had fans with about. Ospreay had a beautiful counter for hip toss into a downward stretch. This was Ospreay setting Omega's hand to the table. Nuts. Ospreay disrespected Canadian fans several ways, but Omega turned it down with a clothesline and Omega paid for it. There were too many cool spots to list them all. So yeah. Now we go to the perpetual match tonight. Was a 6-man tag battle with Jericho, Guevara, Suzuki taking on Thing, Allen, and Naito. Even though they were heels, the crowd saying Mojitas, Casa, and Naito. Naito, Guevara started their team and took their time to get to it. The Spanish child dodged Naito a couple of times, messed with him, and Naito kicked him in the gut. Both men tossed each other, taunted each other before they started taking the match seriously. When Sting tagged in, Jericho begs Suzuki to tag so the former WWE stars could face off for the first time match. Suzuki tagged the icon from behind to get Jericho the advantage. This kicked out the brawl of 6 men. So this was a good one to sit between Ospreay versus Omega versus Jericho versus Okada. This was never meant to be a EX year candidate. It was worked as a great break between the two most anticipated bouts in the card. You know, this was a show stealer. This was still an entertaining bout. This was eventually when Suzuki was in the ring after back and forth. Naito was able to keep Suzuki down for the pin to get the victory. Jericho and Suzuki being friends and nearly made sense, but always made it work. Now, since I told people not looking to Suzuki's eye for their home safety is pretty funny. Sting has a unique version of face page this time. Always gave out the Joker vibes, but a different way than TNA looked at. Hearing Murray Grandpa chant for Suzuki was hilarious. Suzuki slammed Allen to the mat. One shot was funny enough. But Guevara botched a cutter from the top row and hit a Sting right on top of his head with an elbow. Though his thing was fine, it was almost much worse. Juice Effect counter was suicide dive. It looked great because you couldn't see it coming. Now we go to the main event. Naito in the night was the most anticipated match we saw all year. Danielson entered the ring, the old mention strong final countdown by Europe. The Battle of Okada for the first time era. Fans were chanting. This is also before any main content. This was locked up immediately, but trading hold, counters, hit down crowds, which must look PG chant. Even though they were looking at brisk pace, ranking looked good. You can see the pace in the same spots in the match. So yeah, Dancing completely found Coda everybody on same chops. Well, maybe try to hit him harder. This is having a blotch. Try to see the move. Yeah, tongues on the ramp to my favorite. Coda hit an elbow drop. Dancing repulsing. I forgot the doctor check out. The manager flopped that flying knee as her get covered. He let down her during the suplex and he saved when the kick Okada fucking headed. The struggle. Locked in there, so then Okada tapped out to the middle badge and completely shocked the crowd. A lot of people surprised by his outcome. Once again, everyone got both men a round of applause. So This match of Retro Sailors, Ospreay, and Omega, but this match of Tech decided against probably would have been the only counter. The video package for the match was also tossed through a printed counter. Surfboard made the most ooze that almost nearly looks natural, but Danielson made it look good when he put her in back. Okada took a big risk by hitting a crossbody over the barricades to their fans. He's lucky to catch one of these. Foot, Nancy access space and kicks. This match as a whole, the second edition from Midori was a huge success. The crowd was hot. The match was tense. A few of the outcomes were generally surprising. Austin's going to be subjective, but the match tonight was Ospreay and Omega. They took each other a little bit, produced something completely different. The first match at Wrestle Kingdom. If you pinpoint the weakest contest of the card, it wasn't that bad. Everyone showed up Sunday, put on a great show that it did. Punk gained a negative reaction with several available heel turns. Punk Perry finally took the plunge and attacked Hook's going to kick off a fight feud between two younger stars. Kingston and Moxley's story is over. It looked like there are some unfinished business between Jericho and Sting at the end of Trish Best. We'll see some of the storyline continue this week on Rampage, Dynamite, and Collision. So the presentation of this pay-per-view was top-notch, and we were left with a handful of memorable matches. So yeah, that was my thoughts. That was my thoughts on Forbidden Door this year, and that was the wrestling news. I'll see y'all next Sunday. This is AgostoAllElite Podcast. See ya.